We're gonna take a look at every hidden secret in the newest Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. I can't believe it! It finally happened, the moment we've all been waiting so patiently for. And for it to be announced at a Nintendo Direct is one of the most mind-boggling things in the world. And it's confirmed the Kingdom Hearts series will be making its way to the Nintendo Switch 2, with Kingdom Hearts 4 also releasing on Switch 2 when it releases. As a lifelong Nintendo and Kingdom Hearts fan, I literally couldn't be happier. And I've been someone who's been watching Nintendo Directs for a long time. They usually have a certain pace to these things, and we were all super thrown off. It's normal for there to be a sizzle reel right before they reveal the final game. This sizzle reel usually indicated that the end of the presentation was coming. But for them to slide one more announcement between the sizzle reel and the Ocarina of Time remake, I could not believe what was happening. Don't do that. So I wanted to take a look at the newest Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. While it's only a short teaser, there's a lot of goodies, secrets, and lore bits to take a look at, seeing what we can uncover after waiting for so long. But before I get into it, let me know in the comment section below, where were you when the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer was dropped? Were you at home completely crashing out, or at work trying to hold it together? And while you're down there, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It's finally time to take a look at the newest piece of Kingdom Hearts material. To give my first impressions, I noticed that this trailer has to be taking place really early in the game. I'm imagining the opening moments, or maybe even the tutorial section of the game. There's no Disney locations in this trailer, mainly focusing on Quadratum for the setting. And if you look at those Kingdom Hearts screenshots from a while back, it looks like the gameplay for this trailer is taking place in the same location. I imagine this trailer was quickly made to give Kingdom Hearts fans something to be excited about, as it was a good tease, as it definitely helps push the Nintendo Switch 2 ports. But I also feel this trailer doesn't have any Disney to make it easier to promote. There's no approval process to get through with Disney if the trailer just focuses on the original stuff. The overall vibe for this trailer gives very early sections of the game, and we'll be going scene by scene to see what secrets we can find, as the trailer opens up with a hooded figure on top of a building, as this is very similar imagery as what we've seen from the previous Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Although this time, the character seems to be a female. Based on their figure and their posture, it seems whoever is under this would be a woman. It also helps that the narration for this trailer is being spoken by a woman's voice. Now, who is this under the hood? One of my first thoughts is that this is Ava from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. While all of the other Union leaders have returned in Kingdom Hearts 3, she is the only one not available in the game's secret ending, causing her to be missing in action. But that's not all, as a character's body motions can tell a lot about them, as the hooded character in the trailer moves their hands similar to the way that Ava does. It's great how they can give so much personality to a character without showing their face. And it's possible that Ava is the one narrating the trailer's opening. Now, I want to talk about the narration itself. The structure of this world is incredibly complex. At first, there were no manifestations of what we know as light and darkness, but our arrival brought these concepts with us, the darkness given physical form only after we defined it. This quote leans into the identity of this new world, as Quadratum takes place in unreality, a universe that runs opposite to the Kingdom Hearts world that we know and love. Where in that Kingdom Hearts world, light and darkness has manifested in people's hearts. But here, people don't have that issue. That is, until they opened up the paths between these two, leading to all of this destruction in the city. Now, there's two words in this sentence that stick out to me. The first being concepts. As in this context, it makes the Heartless feel more like an actual idea rather than a tangible thing, like they were imagined in this world versus how they function in the Kingdom Hearts land. And the other being defined, where we only give meaning to the things we attach to. In all of this text, this makes the world of Kingdom Hearts feel more imaginary than this universe, how the Kingdom Hearts universe is more fantastical and fictional than this one. Then we get another look at this dark side enemy from the original trailer. While not looking exactly like the dark side that we're used to, I imagine this is supposed to be the equivalent in this new universe, and it looks way more detailed with all of the different ridges in its body. We get a better look of behind the beast, showing off its massive wings, and you can see how the darkness is taking over the city, crawling on buildings and overall setting the entire scene into chaos. But if you look closely, you can see this weird light design over here. It kinda looks like constellations, potentially someone attacking the dark side from beneath, as we get other characters sprinkled throughout the trailer. We then cut back to the hooded female figure, getting a better look at their full design, and like many other ladies who wear the organization cloak, there's this dip that happens right around the hip area to show the difference. But is it Ava? That's still up for debate. But whoever this is seems to be doing their own thing. And we get a look at the Kingdom Hearts 4 title card, this time looking similar to the text that we got from the first trailer that read the Lost Masters arc. Next sequence begins with Sora battling the dark side, and man, this version is really scary. Just the design of its face and how realistic it looks. I feel like I'm gonna see this thing in my nightmares. Also, if you look closely at the sky, you can find some airships. These airships remind me a lot of the ones from Final Fantasy 15, where these assault crafts would show up and send enemies after Noctis and pals. I imagine in this context, these airships are part of a police or government system. They're here to respond to the threat that's attacking the city, and when they see Sora, they might have a word or two to say. They'll probably try to blame him for causing the attack on the city in the first place. So seeing Sora running from the police would be an excellent plot line, I'm not gonna lie. I also don't think that the airships looking similar to Final Fantasy 15 isn't on accident either. There's so much thematically connecting those games that it's all over the place in this trailer. Right before Sora makes the leap, you'll notice these polygonal yellow blocks here. And it took me a while to try and figure out what these are, but since it triggers right before you go flying into the air, I'm trying to imagine that this is an indicator to tell you how to get to the higher sections. More so, this is the Kingdom Hearts version of the yellow paint problem, giving players directions on where to go if they aren't sure. Not only that, but it definitely pops a lot in this gray atmosphere. It's gonna be hard to miss. In Kingdom Hearts 3, the walls would sparkle to show you that it's possible to run on them. This might be their way of doing that with all of their cinematic set pieces. Still, I'm not 100% sure, so let me know what you guys think this is. Then Sora just starts jumping car to car like he's Spider-Man. I really like how the Keyblade will glow every time he casts out his chain. It's basically an update version of what we got from the first trailer. And I know the person who owns this red car is gonna be pissed. They probably just paid it off too, like that's a shame. And in a real blink and you miss it moment, you get another look at Sora's watch. We've seen this before in some of the earlier screenshots, but now we get to see it in action a little bit, likely Sora embracing the technology of this world. Maybe it'll function as this game's version of the menu. But more interestingly, Sora is actually wearing an earpiece. Now, I wonder who's going to be talking to him through it. I imagine it's Strelitzia if she wants to give him any new information. She's going to be like, "Focus, S." Unsure if this will be a real mechanic, but it's interesting to see that Sora is using more technology. Then, Sora gets knocked back really hard by this dark side. Before crashing, we get a quick view of the city, and you can see the damage is being spread all over. There's darkness taking over buildings in the distance, really giving this moment a lot of scope. Sora gets thrown very aggressively through this glass here, in front of all these people, but he techs the landing, and honestly, this looks really cool. This has to be one of the scariest things in the world for these people. They just saw this child get violently thrown through a glass window, and he gets up after it like it was nothing. Sora is an absolute legend. This next chunk of the trailer focuses on a bunch of quick cuts of different characters, the first being a new look at Strelitzia, as she's been in the first Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and is an important character in the Kingdom Hearts mobile game Union Cross. And oh boy, there's a lot of mobile game stuff that we'll get to eventually. This time her outfit seems to be a bit more white. It could be the lighting in the scene making it look really bright. In fact, it looks like the center streets of Shibuya and how illuminated it can get with the billboards. You also get another look at her hairpin, reading the number 11 in Roman numerals, this being a reference to her brother Marluxia, who is the 11th member of the organization. This is all lore you get from the phone games, and it does kind of go crazy. But it looks like she's facing a hooded figure here. It could be Ava since she's present in the same trailer, while it could also be the Master of Masters since he's in the first trailer. There's just not enough to go off of with this angle, but it looks like she's in some deep chats. Then we get a look at a brand new character that we've never seen before. Off of his vibes alone, he is way too calm for what's going on right now. In the background, you can see he's inside of the building while the city is under attack, this likely taking place at the same time as Sora's battle. But he's not nearly as stressed as all the other folk. Now, who is this mysterious new character? If I had to take a guess, this is Sigurd from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Another mention of the mobile games. Square Enix, you're insane for this. So just a quick rundown. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross was a phone game that told the prequel story of what happened in the Great Keyblade War. Spoilers, everyone is dead. At the end of Union Cross, we get the story of how Daybreak Town has fallen to darkness. And while this was happening, one of the characters named Brain, yes Brain, I'm not kidding, they named him Brain, survived and ends up in Scala Edgilum. Here, Brain meets Sigurd, a man with his face completely covered. But Sigurd states to Brain that he is the only survivor of Daybreak Town. Sigurd is his introduction to Scala Edgilum, a world that's important to the Kingdom Hearts lore. Heck, it's the battlefield for the final battle of Kingdom Hearts 3. The first connection I made to this being Sigurd is the color schemes. There's a lot of gray and purples matching with both of their outfits. And this version in the trailer just looks like a more modern rendition of this outfit here. And while it's not confirmed, I feel really strongly about this one. Also, I like his bob. I like his bob. Then it cuts to this black-haired character holding what seems to be like a Keyblade. You can see it has this dark blue color scheme, and you can briefly see the keychain when he moves it about. The teeth of the blade also have this diamond shape right in the center, and this diamond shape is consistent in the keychain and the teeth. The icon at the center looks like a moon, and the first thoughts I had was this is what a Psyx Keyblade would look like. The colors to the tone and the moon, it feels like it belongs to him. Fun lighting fact though that I noticed when he swings the blade, the light reflects off the surface all the way back here. Like there's no way he's projecting this image of himself all the way that far. Now let's talk about this character themselves. At first glance, I thought it was Yozora. The outfit looks damn near identical, but then you notice the eye color is different from Yozora, so I just voted that out. Then my brain went to Riku. Same situation with the plaid outfit, but that's not my boy. But of course, Noctis became the next in line. I mean, are you kidding me? That's basically his identical twin for the millionth time that Nomura has created. But the real answer seems to be a bit more alarming, as this is another character from a Kingdom Hearts phone game. And it's one that you can't even play anymore. Yay! Kingdom Hearts Dark Road was another Kingdom Hearts phone game, this time telling the story of Xehanort while he was training to become a Keyblade master. And spoilers for this game, there's a lot of death. But with our time with this game, we get a lot of supporting characters for the Kingdom Hearts universe, including a handful of classmates Xehanort would encounter. Now this character right here looks like Vali, one of Xehanort's upperclassmen from this game. And in Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, Vali is killed by Baldur, this game's main antagonist. What's seeming like a common theme for this reality is its connection to the afterlife. This is where people would go when their time in Kingdom Hearts land has expired, so it's likely that Vali ended up here after the events of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. On the other hand, this could be the 7,000 Noctis clone and I wouldn't even bat an eye. Next shot, we get a familiar face, Luxord. He's easily been the most mysterious character of the series so far, making his debut as just another member of Organization 13, giving us a boss battle where you turn into dice and cards, enabling my gambling addiction. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, his story begins to unfold. We see at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, Luxord is the driver of Yozora, the game's most challenging boss fight. I also noticed the bird on his jacket, and he's one of the few characters with a detailed pin. At a glance, it looks like a phoenix to me, but the phoenix has always been about rising from the ashes into something greater. Maybe this will tie into Luxord's overall narrative, but then there's also the clear Final Fantasy Versus 13 imagery here, with this scene being identical in Kingdom Hearts 3. Luxord is looking like the vessel for Nomura to tell the Final Fantasy Versus 13 story that he always wanted. Then we get a shot of a hooded figure walking towards the camera. The setting seems to be a bit different than the one we saw early in the trailer, this one being more grounded, maybe more around a public park area based on the trees, but if you notice, there's black wings falling from the sky. Now, the first place my brain went with this was Sephiroth. The black wing is a staple for him, and he's been a big demand to return for Kingdom Hearts. But looking at it again, it looks like another connection to the Kingdom Hearts mobile adventures, although this reference has to be the worst one of them all, as this time the game in question was never even officially released. So Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was the cancelled Kingdom Hearts mobile game. It was supposed to hold us over while we waited for Kingdom Hearts 4, and use GPS functionality as its unique gameplay mechanic. But the game was killed and never saw the light of day. Although, when there was a beta, we got a bunch of cutscenes showing off new characters. And two of these characters are Hyujin and Mugen. I'm probably completely butchering their names, I'm really sorry. In Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, these two were seen using black feathers to take control of other Keyblade wielders. And in Norse mythology, these are the names of Odin's ravens, those who were sent as spies to gather information. So looking at this black feather, it looks like Missing Link still lives on in some way, shape, or form. With the amount of mobile game content shown off in these trailers, it's not surprising if this is the case. Next shot, we get another set of familiar faces with Donald and Goofy, as they are being surrounded by this blue flame. I want to say how nice it is to see the zany and cartoony animations with these two. The way Donald's hat reacts separately from the rest of his body. It's a reminder that Disney is in this game, even with all the gray out there. And this seems like a continuation of the scene we saw in the first trailer, as many were saying Donald and Goofy were searching for Sora. And this search has led them to the underworld. The blue flames were the first hint, being a given trait of Hades. But the afterlife is looking like a big part of this Kingdom Hearts experience. In Dark Road, the underworld is used as a location to communicate with the lost Keyblade wielders. It's one of the coolest uses of a Disney property in a Kingdom Hearts game in a very long time. And it looks like they're building on that with them looking for Sora here. It's likely they're having their own conflict with Hades based on their reaction. But it is wonderful to see the fellas again. Then we move on to this beautiful scene right here, now showing what seems to be a young Xehanort holding an umbrella over Sora's head in the streets. For starters, Xehanort is supposed to be 6 feet under at this point. We spent the last several Kingdom Hearts games trying to take out all the different versions of him, but here he is, again, young and hydrated. In general, death in the Kingdom Hearts series has never been a permanent thing. Characters have passed on and have been reworked back to life in a bunch of different ways. So seeing Xehanort here isn't the most surprising thing in the world. Once again, leaning into the idea that this city is the true afterlife. This imagery in particular has been teased by Nomura several times over, as he's posted art pieces with this umbrella, rain, and various pieces of Xehanort, long after his defeat in Kingdom Hearts 3, leading people to believe that this was some sort of tease of what's to come in the future. So now here we are in present quadratum seeing this image finally realized in a game. I think it's interesting how defeated Sora looks in this moment, and the genuine look of surprise to see Xehanort behind him. It's almost like Xehanort is offering Sora a moment of reprieve after the moment he just went through. At the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, Xehanort seems more apologetic for what he's done. While he does wait for the absolute last moment to have a change of heart, I think this is going to be his chance to make up for his previous mistakes. In fact, I think Xehanort is going to be somewhat of a teacher for Sora, as he seemed to know way more about this new reality than any of the other characters so far. And you'll notice that Sora has a few Xehanort-related moves inside of his kit now, starting with our first look at actual gameplay from Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, there's two versions of this trailer floating on the internet right now. The first is the version we got on the Nintendo Direct. showing the game's HUD in action. But then we got the second one, labeled the teaser trailer. And while most of the gameplay is near identical, there are a few changes. First being that the HUD is completely missing from the teaser trailer, showing more raw gameplay footage instead. It also looks like this fight in particular has been shown off to us before. When Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was cancelled, we were given new Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshots as collateral. And in these screenshots, you can see similar enemies and city streets as the trailer. My first impression of looking at the gameplay is that this feels a lot like Kingdom Hearts 3. The overall motion and how long Sora stays in the air feels very similar to Kingdom Hearts 3's combat. Which makes sense, building on the foundation they've already created is much faster and cost-effective than making something completely new. In fact, this attack right here looks like one of the starting combos from Remind. Then you can look at this combo finisher when you get the lava rock coming out of the ground, and the animation looks nearly identical to Last Charge. I don't mind this, I think Sora's kit in Kingdom Hearts 3 is really solid, so to see those new physics carried over into a new game will keep it feeling familiar. We also get a better look at these new Heartless designs. These were also teased in those screenshots, but this time we get to see how they move. Starting with this one that looks very similar to a Neo Shadow. It's much more detailed and taller and somehow even scarier than the original. Then this one with the giant fist also shown off from the screenshots. It looks like they'll normally clash with the player when the Keyblade hits the gloves, but in this trailer Sora slides an attack through and completes his combo. Now, these guys look really cool. I really like how their color changes to show what action they're going to be doing. It's a good way to be notified of when to fight or flight. Now, both of these new enemies don't have any Heartless insignias, showing that they are indeed natural darkness instead of being artificially created. It will be interesting to see if the emblem Heartless will be showing up in this universe. Truth be told, we're not even sure if these are actually Heartless. They can be an entirely new entity with a completely different name, but we'll keep calling them such until proven otherwise. What's neat about this gameplay is that we get a look at a brand new Keyblade. This blue and red Keyblade seeming to combine lava and water-based attacks. On top of the key is all fire-based, while the handle is made up all of water. And it's also shown in the attacks, like when you do the finisher and when the lava spire appears. I also really appreciate the little particle effects for this one, showing these blue and red patterns that display in the air for a few seconds. It also gives us a look at Kingdom Hearts 4's new gameplay mechanic. So build has been teased in previous screenshots and takes up the 4th slot of Sora's menu. Normally the 4th slot is allocated to like drive forms or summons or something big. It's safe to say that the build mechanic will be the new big gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 4. You'll notice while Sora is attacking, the meter above Sora's head is starting to fill. Similar to the drive forms, it seems you'll be able to build this meter throughout combat, already a massive departure from Keyblade transformations, where there being an actual meter makes it so you have to manage your resources a little bit better. As much as I liked Keyblade transformations, there wasn't a lot of control for when they appeared. This looks like something you can activate at your own time when the meter is filled. I think using the meter this way makes the game a bit more balanced, so overall, good news for me. It looks like this move right here is Lava Slash, as it looks like the player for this demo is hitting the button right as it comes out, and it looks like Volt Cannon would have been the finishing move here, based on that it's indicated by this green icon above the rest of the command menu. Overall, it looks like build will give you more control over Sora's combos. When in build, you can use the build commands as combo modifiers, but this will use up the build meter. And you can combine build mechanics to create these combo reactions. In this case, Lava Slash and Ingenuous Impact are the build commands, and they build up to Volcanic Crush for the combo reaction command that we see in the trailer. There's also Volt Cannon in the trailer, which is likely another finisher you can do. Point is, it looks like you'll have to build your own combinations for Sora's kit. You also get this new trigger icon right above the HUD, and it looks like you'll be able to switch between different build commands. I imagine switching back and forth will offer tons of combo potential. Overall, builds looks like they're going back to the basics. Where Keyblade transformations were all about their explosiveness and their flair, build seems to be more focused on Sora's specific combat abilities. Now, the real question on everyone's mind: where on earth does this Keyblade come from? So there's a lot of ideas that come to mind, and I want to go through all of them here. I mean, it is possible that this is a tease for an upcoming Moana world. The lava and the water theming going hand in hand with the story of Moana, and Moana is likely going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4, as the story of the game seems to be focusing on the princesses again. And Moana is one of the most popular to drop from Disney in years. But there's no specific indicator leading this to one Disney world. Usually the Keyblade has something in its design, especially the keychain, to be a dead giveaway. It is also possible that this Keyblade has been altered to avoid any spoilers. I've also seen that this Keyblade can represent the Disney film Elemental, as that film tells the love story between a woman of fire and a water boy. Fire and water are appropriate themes for the Keyblade, and the love story aspect could be the way that the Keyblade is designed with both of them in mind. It's also possible that this is a completely original Keyblade, no ties to any Disney property. The reason I bring this up is because of how the rest of the trailer is set up. It seems like it mainly takes place at the game's early sections, which reminded me a lot of the Shooting Star Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a Keyblade with a vague design, not directly connected with anything Disney, and you get it pretty early to show off the new Keyblade transformation mechanic. This Keyblade might be this game's version of that, a completely original Keyblade to show off the new build mechanic. Alternatively, this could be a fusion Keyblade between Aqua and Lee's Keyblade, combining her water-based attacks with his fire ones, and here we are. And Sora has manifested this Keyblade by connecting his friends to his heart. I mean, I don't think this is impossible, considering how much Sora borrows from other characters throughout this trailer. But of course, what do you think of this Keyblade? What do you think it actually is? You also get a better look at the HUD when you're outside of build, showing a quadrantum themed command menu, and it reads attack, magic, items, and build. And if you look closely, there's a little arrow next to the attack button. In Kingdom Hearts 3, this meant that you could switch between different Keyblades on the fly. This made it so you had 3 different Keyblades to use in a single fight. I feel like it's safe to assume that Keyblade switching will return in this game. Mixing that with the new build mechanic will lead to some insane setups. I genuinely cannot wait. What's neat about this is that you can see the pedestrians hanging out in the background. They'll actually be watching your battles as they're happening. It's crazy to have a live studio audience this time around. And we get a look at this mini-map, which is fairly basic. It looks like Sora is labeled with the yellow arrow and enemies are shown as dots, and the white arrow pointing to the north like most video game maps do. And of course, one of the most important aspects of a new Kingdom Hearts game, how Sora's HUD looking this time around. Well, it looks like they're keeping the 3D model this time, and the overall design looks a lot different from the version we got in the last trailer. Still, I'm definitely much more a fan of the 2D artwork for the HUD. I guess it makes sense to go a bit more realistic this time since it's tied to the theme of the game. But still, it would have been nice to see KH4 Sora art for this one. Regardless, everything is where it should be. You got your green HP bar, your blue MP bar for magic, and the yellow bar being represented for builds. For our first look at gameplay, there was a lot to unpack in those first few seconds. Then we move on to the next gameplay scenario showing Sora fighting more enemies in Shibuya at night. This time Sora is using the Kingdom Key for the gameplay. Now we get another look at the combo reactions you can do in the game. You'll notice this enemy in the air that you can react to, being prompted with a big letter and the green aura. This will allow Sora to perform the Heart Barrage finisher. He throws the Keyblade and it manifests a gold chain in the air. And as you approach the front of the chain, you'll get a button prompt if you want to get on top of it. So in previous games, flow motion would just automatically activate when you get close to something that enabled it. This would make it so you'll accidentally flow motion in moments when you definitely didn't want to. Now you'll need to trigger the animation yourself to get Sora up there, which I think is a great addition and gives the player more control over their actions. While Sora is on the chain, he does have an active hitbox for his body. On top of that, he'll shoot out these light projectiles that also do damage. The light he shoots out reminds me a lot of the Shooting Star Keyblade, how those light arrows go flying towards specific enemies and hone in on them. Although if you look closely at the end of the arrows, you'll notice a star. And the star here looks a lot like a Paopu fruit. The Paopu fruit has been a reoccurring item in the Kingdom Hearts series, where it said those who shared one will have their destinies tied together forever. In Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora and Kairi finally share a Paopu fruit, which is one of the best and most rewarding scenes in that game. But now you see how Kairi is being reflected into Sora's moveset. There's so many small details in this trailer that show Sora borrowing his kit from others. Of course, we get a look at the lock-on reticle, a classic for Kingdom Hearts, when it's yellow when you're looking away, but it turns blue when locking onto a foe. I'm pretty happy they didn't change anything about this, to be honest. So when Sora is done riding on the chains, you can see Sora turning the Keyblade into a whip. The attack doesn't hit anyone in the trailer, as Sora just flails in the air before completing his finisher. But this attack reminds me a lot of the one young Xehanort uses. In most of your battles against him, he'll turn the Keyblade into a whip for some extended damage. So this is the first time we've seen Sora do something like this. Is this an ability Sora learns through Xehanort? Only time will tell. We also see how the build mechanic works when the Kingdom Key is equipped. You get this beautiful HUD icon with stars and the Keyblade chain wrapping around it, with 2 new moves, Chain Raid and Star Ring. Chain Raid looks like the move where he sends the chain all around. Also, you notice that upon defeating enemies, you'll get MP and money drops. I think it's interesting that the money for this game seems to be the same as all the others, that even in this reality, they didn't want to mess with the commerce. It just goes to show you that money is the true ultimate power no matter what universe you're in. And you can see some more folk watching our battle from the distance. I hope the footage they're getting on their phone is worth nearly dying for. We also get a better look at Quadratum at night and all the different billboards. This location where the battle is taking place looks identical to the spot that Sora arrives in the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending. And there's a few things I wanted to point out from the background. The first thing is that the 104 building looks a lot different this time around, changing around the font to this more modernistic look, and it looks very similar to the one in The World Ends With You. Now, it wouldn't be impossible to see The World Ends With You characters in this game in some way, shape, or form. I'm just hoping this update is a tease for their inclusion. Even on the banner art for this building, you get a character that looks like they fit right into The World Ends With You. This art has been extracted from the Kingdom Hearts 3 file so we can see the full thing, but I'm still hopeful that this means that Neku and friends are returning. There's also this orange Game Station sign over here. Now, I imagine this is supposed to function like this reality's version of an arcade. Japan has tons of game stations where people can go to play video games, but this right here has raised my eyebrows a little bit. It's more so that the fact that the sign is orange, and we already have Game Central Station in Kingdom Hearts, being the Wreck-It Ralph world, which was included only in the Kingdom Hearts mobile game. And Game Central Station has pretty big Kingdom Hearts lore surrounding it, so maybe this is a tease that Game Central Station is coming to Kingdom Hearts. Or I'm absolutely losing my mind and clinging for anything to make it a reality. Please put Sugar Rush in Kingdom Hearts, I'm begging! Moving on, we get a move where Sora is using his Keyblade to open a door to the light. You can briefly see that the move is called Gate to Light before it disappears from the HUD. What's dope about this door is that it's in the same shape of a heart binder. So a heart binder was introduced in Kingdom Hearts 3 and allowed Sora to use summons, calling upon his friends from a distant world and using their abilities to assist him. In this case, he's borrowing the light from his friends for a finishing attack, while Sora is riding on top of these blades to dish out most of his damage. I really like how this is clearly a reference to that part in Kingdom Hearts 3, where Sora rides on the old Keyblade to defeat the darkness during the final battle. At the same time though, I can't help but see the Vanitas imagery. Vanitas is the only other character to ride on Keyblades like this, so to see Sora adopting this for his own moveset, it's insane to see where inspiration comes from. And when the finisher is happening, the camera takes over and gives you this cinematic sequence of the Keyblades flying around. I do wonder if this is something you can disable in the game settings, in the same way that you're able to disable certain animations in Kingdom Hearts 3, eventually leading the Keyblades to the center where they explode on impact. Very cool. So something you'll notice in the direct version of this trailer is the small red icon surrounding Sora. Now this looks like an indicator to let the player know if an off-screen enemy is going to attack. And this has been common in plenty of action games, but this is the first for Kingdom Hearts. On one hand, having access to this makes it so you don't get blindsided by an enemy off-screen. On the other hand, it might make combat situations too easy if you have awareness of everything. I do hope there's an option to turn this off so players can make that decision for themselves, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, we get a closer look at Sora's fight with the dark side, this time inside of the interior of a building, which seems to be a more scripted sequence. So do you remember those weird light projections I mentioned earlier in the video? Well, they make another appearance here in the back corner of these buildings. I'm thinking this is one of those other Keyblade wielders shown off in the trailer, doing what they can to prevent the damage in the city in other ways. And then we can also see the command menu now being colored red instead of yellow. Also, Sora doesn't have build available just yet. From what I'm thinking, this looks like the very first fight of the game, before you even gain access to the build mechanic. In every Kingdom Hearts game, the dark side fight is supposed to set the stage. It gives you a small glimpse of what's to come and has been a staple in every mainline entry. It's likely that this is the opening battle to set the tone of the game, and they've definitely stepped it up in terms of its presentation. You can see Sora performing a dodge roll to avoid this giant fist. It's great to see that this is just a normal part of his kit now. Back in my day, you had to unlock the dodge roll to equip it. Anyway, you also get these dark spires that come out of the ground to hit Sora, and we see Sora do a short hop and lunges over with a 4-hit aerial combo. The way Sora just flies over to this target very much reminds me of the combat of Kingdom Hearts 3. The dark side sets up for another punch, but Sora blocks it this time. But instead of a normal guard, Sora is actually using barrier this time around. Now, if this is the first fight, then that means that Sora just has barrier as part of his kit. Barrier is a lot safer when compared to guard since it can protect you from behind. But I really hope that barrier isn't the default guard for Sora. I mean, I totally get it when it was Aqua. You know, magic is her entire thing. But I'm so used to Sora just doing a normal block, it is a little jarring if that's not the case. Of course, it could be something that's equipped on and off, but I'm not so sure. Then the next set piece transitions from gameplay into cutscene, as these citizens are in danger and Sora jumps in to save them at the last second. This shot of Sora right next to these normal human characters is just really funny. I saw someone say that this is supposed to be Yoko Shimomura, but I'm not sure how true that is. But I wanted to point it out in case any of y'all had any extra things to add. And seeing how Sora compares to these normal human characters so closely is certainly something. But the trailer ends with a clash with the fist and the Keyblade cutting to the dark, showing us the title card for Kingdom Hearts 4 and Nintendo revealing that Nintendo Switch 2 will be getting the game at the same time as everyone else. This is incredible news, since the Square Enix Switch 2 ports have been a big hit for them. So to see that they're dropping the game alongside everywhere else at the same time on the Switch 2 gives them an even playing field. Not only that, but they also confirmed that the game will be releasing on PC at launch. If you ask me, I never thought they would do this in a million years. I was so sure they were going to release the console versions first and then drop the PC versions later, as many would likely double dip to get into the modding content. But that's not the case here. Kingdom Hearts 4 will be available on Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch 2 on the same exact day. And that exact day is... eventually? While we didn't get a release date, I feel pretty confident we'll be seeing the game again soon. Final Fantasy Revelation has a release window now, so it's time for Square Enix to shift their attention to their next project. And they couldn't have picked a better time than this. Now that we've gone through the entire trailer, there's a bunch of points that I need to quickly bring up. For starters, I'm grateful that the frame rate looks consistent. It seems pretty high. I imagine the Switch 2 version might run a little worse than the others, and I think the game still needs a little bit more time in the oven. The city looks like it's still missing a bit of lighting textures that makes it look a bit flat, but ultimately I think that's something that's just going to get ironed out as the game progresses. Then there's Xehanort. I do think it's an interesting angle that Xehanort will likely be an ally to us this time around. Sora is overall a very trusting person, so he'll likely follow Xehanort along with whatever he needs. But to see Sora's moveset get actually influenced by Xehanort, now that's pretty cool. It's a very sweet thing to see how he's handling being so far away from them. Then there's also the cutscene direction for this game. which looks way more high quality than any other Kingdom Hearts game. There's a lot of motion and expression on these characters, and the game is getting pretty fancy with its camera work and prop design. There's a certain cinematic direction that's different with this Kingdom Hearts game, and I'm excited to see how they further explore it. I've also got to mention the amount of superhero imagery in this game, with Sora being the big hero, saving the city from its destruction while everyone is running. He's swinging through the city streets like he's freaking Spider-Man. He gets thrown through that glass and makes a superhero level recovery, and everyone is looking at him to save the day. There's way more hero imagery this time around because of the people, which kind of makes me feel like Marvel is right around the corner. It just feels very natural in this setting. Like this right here looks like it could appear in a Marvel world. It's crazy. But, and this has to be the most important message of this video, they absolutely need to do a Kingdom Hearts Union Cross remake. Make it a smaller budget title with a smaller team, but please. There's so much in this trailer from the phone games that not prepping consumers with this content makes it easier for people to get confused with what's happening all over again. We need a proper way to get all that information before jumping into Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm hoping they're quietly working on a remake behind the scenes, because Kingdom Hearts will be hit with a new layer of misinformation if they don't get on that. Please make this a priority, I am begging you. And let's talk about the future. With this trailer being labeled as the teaser trailer, the big stuff will likely be revealed in the next one. I imagine this trailer is like what they did with the Olympus trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, showing off a location we've already been to but in a new context. But then the trailer after that was the big Toy Story reveal, showing new Disney content and how Sora meshes with this new world. I imagine the next Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer will be the next big Disney reveal. Is it finally time for Star Wars to poke its head into the series? Only time will tell. But man, I'm so happy to be wrong about Kingdom Hearts 4 news this year. I was so sure that they were gonna wait until next year to show off anything, but now Kingdom Hearts is back on the menu. It could show up at any point in time that it feels like it, but we'll always be ready for it. But yes, these are all the hidden secrets I could find in the Kingdom Hearts 4 teaser trailer. And oh my god, this was so much fun to put together. To be able to melt myself into new Kingdom Hearts content, I feel like my heart is full again. I wanted to savor every moment since we've waited so long for this trailer. The Kingdom Hearts drought is finally over, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Let me know what you guys thought of this trailer in the comment section below. Is there anything that I missed that's worth mentioning? Let me know. And thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay awesome.